Brett here, and in this video I'm going to share with you the number one thing that is holding you back from going to that next level in your business. Now, this isn't going to be some fluff. This isn't going to be some airy-fairy, wishy-washy. This is going to be really practical, and this is really going to awaken you to the truth and the reality of what is actually holding you back. Because so many people go through their life making all these justifications, all these excuses, all these reasons why they can't move forwards and do the thing that they know that they should be doing. They call themselves procrastinators. They call themselves, I have resistance. This problem, this thing, this excuse, this answer. I have a block. And really, what we've become in this world, especially people who are into doing the personal development, is they've created a language around making excuses. I have an emotional block. I have subconscious limitations. I have resistance. All these things are actual bypasses for you to actually stay where you are. When in reality, what it's actually telling you, your actions are actually telling you that what you're trying to achieve or what you ultimately want to do isn't that important to you. That staying comfortable, staying safe, and playing small is more comfortable to you, and it feels safer to you to do that than it does to actually show up and do what is required for you to go to that next level. Now, as you can tell, I'm in my bed. And the reason why I'm in my bed is I want to showcase you a very, very important principle that I'll get to in a moment. But the reason why I'm in my bed is because I'm committed to 30 days of YouTube videos and Instagram Reels. And the reason why I committed to this is because I was not playing at my full capacity. And I believe that at every single stage of the journey, we know there's a greater potential for us, and we play at our full capacity. This is where we feel alive. This is where we feel inspired. And if you've been on a journey of building your business, of stepping out there, putting yourself out there, you know that when you are on the edge with your back against the wall, when you give yourself something greater to accomplish, when you increase the demand on yourself, supply has to follow. It's the most fundamental law of economics, the first law of economics. When you increase the demand on yourself, the supply has to follow. So 30 days I made this commitment to film this video, and it's been a long day. I was like, all right, I've got to set up the camera. I've got to make it look pretty. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to make it look professional. And then I realized, you know what? This is a really, really important teaching point, because the number one thing that holds so many people back from actually moving forwards is perfectionism. They're trying to perfect, and they're trying to get ready to be ready. They're trying to build a plan and put a plan of, the plan of the plan of the plan of the plan. And this was me for so fucking long. I was building this plan, and I was building this, these ideas out. And I was like, oh, when I get this in place, and then I'll do that. And what I did was ultimately, I created this sophisticated procrastination. And I was like, and then I'll have to have this perfect morning ritual. I have to have this perfect meditation. I have to have every single thing line up and be perfect before I could actually do the thing. And so today, with this particular video, I remember going, oh, you know what? I've got to film that video. I got to get it set up. And I just thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it from my bed. I'm going to remind people that you're focusing on trying to look professional, trying to look fancy, trying to look a certain way, and it's stopping you from moving forwards and going to that next level in your life. Like, no one gives a fuck if you have a fancy ass studio. Really, at the end of the day, yeah, it might get you some more views and it's going to help you build your brand. But if you're in this for the long haul, you know that it's progression over perfection. And at some point in the future, you might have a fancy studio with a fancy podcast microphone and headphones and pretty lights and all this stuff. But what this does is it takes your ability to be relatable away from other people. So now they're like, well, I could never achieve that because look how fancy they've got. And what this does is makes it more relatable. So I'm sharing with you from my bed, as you can see. And I wanted to hit home on this message is stop waiting for everything to be perfect. The best time to start is actually when everything is difficult, because when life becomes, when you come through an easy patch in life, it's so much easier to stay consistent. But if you go, you know what, it's hard, it's difficult right now, I'm in a challenging spot. I've got all these doubts, insecurities, and fears coming up. Feeling like I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start. Just put some demand on yourself. Make a commitment to yourself and make a commitment to grow and go, you know what? Especially on social media, it's where so many of us are afraid to show up. And there's times where I'm like petrified. I'm like, fuck, what do I say? How do I say it? And I look at other people and I'm like, well, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe my message, isn't that important. Other people can share it. Maybe what I have to say or do isn't that really valid, and I'll just play small and I'll shrink to make other people shine. And I've had those thoughts, and I've told myself and spoke myself out of my own greatness. We do this all the time. We speak ourselves out of our own greatness. Now imagine if for a second you were focusing on speaking yourself into your own greatness and encouraging yourself to go to that next level. And this all starts with your dominating internal dialogue, what you did or what they did. And that is something that happened in your past that haunts you and continues to follow you. And you wake up each day with that same story, and then you think you believe that you are your story. But you're greater than your story. You're greater than your face, your name, your body, all the things you've experienced. You're greater than all of those things. You are a immortal being with infinite potential when you get down to the crust of it, the truth of it, the crux of it. Think about this. 4 billion years ago, the universe exploded into existence. And there's a law called the law of thermodynamics. As the first or second law of thermodynamics, which states energy can be neither created nor destroyed, it only transforms. So your cells and the atoms of your body are literally as old as time. What you're made up of are literally the same atoms and the same molecules and the same chemicals that were at the start of the Big Bang. So realistically, on a physical level, on a molecular, atomic level, you are as old as time, and you've just reformed and reformulated yourself into this being now where you are here to master your own destiny, your own future. And that starts all by getting clear on your purpose. And when you're clear on your purpose and you know, this is why I'm here, I can see that everything that's happened to my life, good and bad, has actually been specifically designed to align me to the calling of my heart and soul. But we get caught, especially in this day and age, in the age of information, in the age of scientism, where the French philosopher Auguste Comte, his name was, he said that scientism will be the religion of the future because it will claim to have exclusive access to the truth. And so if we look at over what's happened over the last few years, since 2020, we realized that we were scammed with this thing called scientism, where our logic and reason and factual information was pushed down our throats, and the experts only knew, and we didn't understand the jargon, and so we bought hook, line, and sinker into their bullshit. And so what happens is we are now living in this mind where we overanalyze everything that comes to us. We're in information overload, and we've lost the essence of who we truly are. And we all come from this same source, and this source that is what's animating us and giving us life and converting oxygen into CO2 and creating 10 million new cells every single second, and 10 million cells are destroying every single second. It's pumping, I'm pretty sure, give me a moment to just pull this up. Another perfect example of progress over perfection and letting go of perfection, because I'm going to pull up exactly, I wrote this down. Okay, let me pull this up. So your heart is beating right now through, and it's pumping 8 liters of blood through your heart every minute through 96,000 kilometers of blood vessels, which is 2 laps of the earth. And I'm pretty sure your heart beats, is it 3 million or 3 billion times in your life. And so you have this heart that's just beating for you, just giving you life, and you don't have to think about it. It's all these unconscious processes that are just happening for you, and that is because you're here for a reason, you're here for a purpose. And any thought that tells you otherwise is a lie, is an illusion. And just because you have a thought or a feeling doesn't mean it's true. So I wanted to jump on and I wanted to share this message with you. And this is the number one reason that I see so many people, and I speak to people all the time, and they're like, oh, but this reason, and I have resistance around this, and I can't do it because of this, and maybe I'm not cut out for this, and it's too hard and it's too difficult, and I got to wait until this happens, but I'm focusing over this and this, and they just got some sophisticated story of telling themselves why they should stay where they are. And that's what the 99% of people do. And that is something that petrifies me, is being just like everyone else, just getting by, just doing something that just makes you money to pay the bills, just working to pay the bills, as opposed to doing something that truly lights you up, where it doesn't feel like work, where it feels like you get to be of service and act directly, help and inspire another human being with your life experiences, your life lessons, your wisdom, your knowledge, and what you have to offer this world. And what a truly blessed life we have the opportunity to live. If you're holding this device in your hand right now, you are holding a supercomputer in your hand. And you have access and possibility to reach thousands and thousands of millions of people. But you have a story. And this story is telling you to focus on this, distract yourself with this, do these low priority tasks over here. I'll scrub the bench and wipe down the bench for the 8th time before I go and do the hard thing that I know. So my challenge to you today is, whatever you are hesitating on, whatever you are resisting in your life, sit down and commit to just starting 2 minutes. I'm going to just do 2 minutes of that thing and just commit. Make a choice. I'm going to get it done. I'm not going to go to sleep until this task is done. I'm not going to eat my next meal until this task is done. I'm not going to let today go by without doing the thing that I know that I need to be doing to move me forwards. Because sometimes that one thing, we know that it's required of us to go to that next level, but we could spend months, and there's been times in my life where I spent years. In the back of my mind, there was this vision to go out there, create my very first coaching program, show up online, serve people, make a difference, deliver value. And it was there for years. And I went and I tried to shove it down. I tried to talk myself out of it. And it just ate away at my soul because I was sleeping on untapped potential. And so if you're sleeping on untapped potential and you want someone to hold you accountable, to give you the actual blueprint, to do something meaningful with your life and help people and make an impact and serve them with your story, with your life lessons, with your experiences, with your knowledge. And if you want to master the art of being able to sell, of being able to put yourself out there, of being able to connect and attract dream clients who are willing to pay you at a high level, then reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, same handle as it is on this YouTube channel. And I would love to have a chat and see if we would be a good fit to work with each other, if we would have a good energy and match, to see if, hey, you align with me, I align with you. And if that's the case, we could really take you to that next level. But I'm not interested in working with people who are going to procrastinate, hesitate, and blame it on their resistance or their limitations. Like, yeah, we have them. They're there. They exist. I have them. We all have them. But just know that you're much greater than that, and you are not your limitations. You're not your resistance. You're not your emotional blocks. You're much, much greater than that.